Kangmin Lee, who is someone who I spoke about previously on this channel, just like a couple weeks ago, for talking about how he was let go from his job at a school and being rehired by Benny Johnson within 24 hours. And I promoted his GoFundMe to get people to go there to support him. Thought it was a great thing. And now, like a week later, he is turning into a John Delarose, Melanie Mack, razor fist type person. You know, the extreme right that at the end of the day is no different than the extreme left. They are proving horseshoe theory every single day that I log on to X. Kangmin Lee says, state requires age verification over 18. Pornhub shuts down every time. They're not even trying to hide their agenda at this point. So this is referencing an article talking about how Pornhub is not operating in Arizona over the new age verification law. And yes, when I covered that video, it went mega viral and it was demonetized because YouTube loves to demonetize talking about this kind of stuff. Everyone went with this narrative that they're doing this because they think it's intentionally getting kids addicted to porn. Clearly, none of these people are parents. Okay. Like, first off, full stop. None of you guys have kids because a parent would not say this to that. That's not what this is about at all. My kids aren't addicted to porn. My kids aren't even looking at porn. And when they do, they're going to be old enough to look at porn. Welcome to how reality works. It's life, guys. It's kind of natural, but whatever. I said, they're not blocking states to quote unquote get at your kids. The truth is, Pornhub's refusing to collect and store millions of people's driver's license and biometric data because that's a massive privacy and security risk. They even said this multiple times. That's why they said, if this becomes a thing, we're just not going to operate in those states. It's about liability and protecting user data, not some secret plot against kids. But this is 100% fully misrepresenting why they're leaving to make it seem like, to prove their point, to make it seem like, oh, porn is bad. And oh, by the way, they're after your kids. Like, hey, maybe the using the kids excuse works when that's actually what they're doing, but that's not what they're doing here. And Kangmin Lee continues, and he went off on quite a tangent. And I will ultimately say he did offer to come on stream and chat with me about it, which I am open to doing. So we may have Kangmin on here to chat further about this in the future, but I wanted to at least get my thoughts out there verbally before I do any kind of one-on-one. This comes to us from Espiritu saying, horseshoe theory works again. Extreme leftist, rainbow. Extreme rightist, cross. Censoring/banning any fictions they don't like, right? And this is quote tweeting Kangmin saying, why are you so triggered at the possibility of your porn being taken away? And Kangmin says, I'm talking about banning hardcore pornography. Surely you don't. And first off, what is hardcore porn? What is that? Secondly, how is it hurting you? How is it affecting you? What is happening with that if you do not want it, just don't look it up, don't watch it. And if you don't want it because you yourself are addicted to it, go seek out some support groups, some legitimate help out there to try to curb that. I'm all for that. Surely you don't think filming and distributing people having sex with each other is a net good for individuals, families, and society. Well, shit. I guess you could say the same thing about cigarettes, alcohol, like literally any vices out there. How is coffee a net good? If you want to go that far. Oh, you have to have coffee every day or else you have a pounding headache. You have to go out of your way to get your coffee. You need to make your kids wait or do it. Like you could go to any extreme you want with this and say, insert XYZ problem that needs to be banned every single time. And this fails every single time. And why I get so animated and frustrated about it is because this is the pendulum swing in full force, in full effect right now. We're seeing it. It's gone from the extreme left and it's kind of past the middle. It's definitely past the mill. It's on the right side right now. And they are jumping. This was Melanie Mack and GoonerGate initially, was foreshadowing to what's happening right now. Jumping at the opportunity to grab hold of control and start enacting the same bullshit that the left was trying to do, not just a year ago. Here we go again. A friend of the channel, V, says, the moment we start banning everything that's not a net good, we end up like the UK, which just banned sugary drink refills. This is a concept called nudging, where people live their lives not on what they should pursue, but on what the government allows them to pursue. The only way to fight against nudging is by breaking the finger of the person that tries it. Banger post. Kangmin says, there is nothing good about hardcore pornography. V with the counter. There is nothing good about a nanny state or about South Korea, which did ban hardcore porn, and we can look at the results. There doesn't seem to be any improvement in birth rates, crimes, or morality compared to Western nations. In fact, I'd say it's worse. The only reason to ban something as insignificant as porn, which can be fixed with parental controls, is to normalize the idea that it's not God that bans it, but the government. As such, the government is the one that demands worship. What a banger post. And Kangmin doesn't reply to that one. I didn't realize banning porn was such an unpopular position on the right. My goodness. My mentions are full of people calling me evil authoritarian for wanting to ban hardcore pornography. I get your concerns about government overreach and unjust censorship, but hardcore porn is an area that is so black and white. No, it's not. Like, full stop. No, it's not. Not to mention, what about the nudging? Once that's banned, what's next? The slippery slope. The prevalence of porn has no benefits. Then don't use it. And ergo, you are now better than the people that do in your moral world that you live in. Only downsides. And it'd help individuals, families, and society if we mitigate its reach. How? How? What about couples, by the way? What about couples that watch porn together? What about them? They're not allowed to? What if they're into that? What if that helps them in their relationship? But does that not fit your argument? So you can't use it there? Are we going to say, oh, only if you're in a relationship and you're using it to enhance your relationship? Like what are the regulations for this? I'm curious on the guardrails, because that's what these people, they want guardrails on things. No one is saying banning porn will get rid of it forever. Human nature doesn't change, but politics exists to impose what we believe to be good. Who's we? I don't believe in what you believe here. So now you're saying you're speaking for me with that. And we can leverage power for the betterment of the individual, communities, and nation. The idea of moral neutrality that libertarians have is fundamentally dishonest, because you cannot believe highest good is ensuring maximum autonomy. And I reject that premise. This is bad. The highest good is goodness, beauty, and truth, and freedoms. Wait. What? And freedoms are a means to achieving that for every... Is he serious right now? Kangmin, you are advocating for banning hardcore porn and then advocating for freedoms of people to achieve. Pick a lane, bro. Governing authorities are not inherently evil. Yikes. I was going to say you lost me before. Yikes. Exercising political power is not in... Oh my God. I can't even read through this. Libertarianism is politically and morally untenable, and mass democracy leads to chaos and degeneracy. I am a right-wing traditionalist, not a liberal. I have been clear about this for many years. I don't believe in burning bridges with anyone whom I consider a friend or ally against a greater enemy. But it's a bit sad to see that people will denounce me over a very normie belief that we should ban pornography. Well, wait. I thought you said it was just hardcore. Is this like a Freudian slip? Now it's just a view that the founding fathers and most Americans until 40 years ago believed. Wow, did they have access to the Pornhub? Damn, I didn't know. George Washington was getting freaky. I'm open to speaking with any creator about this. I'm always open to talking through these ideas instead of past each other. This side that wants to win will always beat the side that wants to be left alone, by the way. This is just a political reality. Wow. I can't even. As I'm engaging with y'all, I think we might be fundamentally arguing semantics. I can't. Here we go. Zach Asmagul comes in. I think the arguments for banning porn can be applied to cigarettes and especially alcohol too. In fact, even more because they're physically destructive also. Ultimately, it's most important that individuals are free to choose and pursue what they want in life, even if it's stupid. Banger. So I actually wholeheartedly agree that like you can apply arguments for banning porn to cigarettes and alcohol. I think that those should still be allowed. I think they're stupid. I think they're super dangerous, cigarettes especially. But anything that is a vice can be very dangerous and ultimately extremely destructive for your entire life. But unfortunately, some people don't see it that way. Kangmin says, I don't think banning cigarettes would be so awful. What a childlike mindset to be like, yeah, we can just ban cigarettes. Yeah, how's that going to work out for you, bro? Check out prohibition. But we already have laws against minors purchasing them. We have laws against excessive alcohol consumption too. Drunk driving. I mean, I guess there's no laws about getting shit-faced in your own house, though. What? Again, this is like a misdirection for the argument, saying drunk driving. I get the line of reasoning, but porn isn't a substance you need to go out of your way to buy. It is everywhere and accessible to Jesus. Does this guy? What kind of world you live in where porn is everywhere? I don't see porn everywhere. What's he talking about? Accessible to everyone at any age with an internet connection. Children are hooked on it at such a young age. Who? Example, please? Like what? And if they are, I hope they're able to get the help they need. It sounds like a parenting issue because that's not something that in my household. My greater concern with my son is playing too much Roblox and Minecraft. Like, what the fuck are your kids doing, bro? What? It completely destroys the soul of the. Oh, here we go. Getting at the soul of those who gets consumed by it. Would you say that smoking cigarettes completely destroys the soul of those who smoke them? Or drinking alcohol completely destroys the soul of those who drink it? What even are these words? These are lefty lunatic words right here. This is horseshoe theory. If parents aren't adequately protecting their children from it, okay, look, there we go. We agree on that. Parents should adequately be protecting their children from it and having honest conversations about it. Yes, it's very important. And a large segment of the adult population is addicted to. Okay, well, now you're changing the argument. You were saying it was because of the kids. Which one is it? I think it's reasonable to use politics and power to mitigate its hold on society. You won't. It's not going to change anything. Freedom cannot be untethered from virtue, or else it will completely destroy the individual, by extension, society. A ban on porn literally will not change people who are addicted to porn from getting porn. DVDs, movies, magazines, they'll have access everywhere. If they're addicted to it, they're going to find it, bro. It's not going to change anything. And say, oh, for future generations, they're going to find it. They're going to get it. Will always be a thing. always. It is literally part of the human anatomy and brain. It is hardwired into you. So you can work with it. And if you're addicted to it, try to get help from it. But by saying these things, it is just so disingenuous that it actually makes me question your intelligence level. And I'm trying to be nice. He's been nothing but nice to me, but my God, this argument is so tone deaf. It's so beyond bad that I'm legitimately at a loss for words. So I quote tweeted him. I said, the far right is no different than the far left. Where is this energy with cigarettes? Are they a net good on society? Alcohol as well? What about social media, phones, and my personal favorite, video games? Because what's the difference in argument? Like legitimately. And again, like I said, I might have Kangmin on here. And if we do that, that would be one of my main points with them. How do you make a distinction between pornography and video games? You could all the arguments that he's applying to pornography, you could make the same argument for why video games are bad and need to be banned. The same exact arguments. But one's different because why? Religion? Oh, okay. So now the truth is coming out. Gotcha. Cherry picking things you want banned and clinging to your ideology as the excuse for it is exactly how we got here in the first place. And he replied, he said, pornography was banned in America for most of American history in a time period where government was much smaller and Americans broadly enjoyed more freedoms. I'm happy to talk more about my view on stream, but there's literally no upside to allow porn. And I said, sorry for the delay. Had a super busy day, but would love to have you on to discuss further. I think it's a very good topic. And he said, let's do it. So we'll see. I think that's a good place to leave this one with Kangmin because I think there's so much to discuss on it, like so much to talk about. And I'm only giving you guys my side of it. I'm trying my best to give both sides. I'm saying what he's saying, and I'm just giving you my reason on why I disagree with it. But I think it's actually a really important conversation to have. And I almost would say I applaud him for being proactive and wanting to talk about it because I'd argue it's not a popular position that he has. And to try to push forward with it, I don't think he's going to win any kind of argument or discussion with it. But I'm all ears for that. So we'll leave that one there and see where it goes from there. But I'll keep you guys posted on that.